friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Jude. So happy that you joined me today. Today's video is going to be a memorial video in honor of the life of Jessica Hanna. And many of you had followed her on her Instagram page, Blessed by Cancer, and I will link that site down below so you can take a look if you're not familiar with Jessica's page and get to know just the person that she was. Jessica lost her battle with breast cancer this past Saturday, April the 6th. She was a Catholic wife and mom of 4, and she died peacefully after her 4-year battle with the disease. Her courage and her strength touched thousands and thousands of people and will continue to do that. As long as that page is up there, more and more people will tap into that and be encouraged and be strengthened as they struggle with physical pain, emotional pain. Maybe you have someone in your life that is really carrying a heavy cross. But Jessica's unbreakable and immense love for the Lord has converted many hearts and given hope for those facing impossible odds and circumstances. So I will also link below to some great interviews that she did for EWTN. Another great one, she prayed the rosary on the page Many Hail Marys at a Time. And she talked about her journey and her whole story, her miraculous healing that she had. And she just radiated joy, pure joy. So you see that coming through in those interviews. So please take a look at that. So let's go back to the start of Jessica's cancer journey. It was in December 2020, she was 14 weeks pregnant, that the breast cancer diagnosis came to be, and was recommended at that time to terminate her pregnancy in order to receive aggressive cancer treatments, which she refused. She was not going to terminate her child. So she refused any treatments that would harm her baby. Jessica had a 13-centimeter tumor with 43 lymph nodes positive. Through the intercession of Blessed Father Silenus Casey, uniting her cross with Christ and running to the sacraments, Jessica was miraculously clear of all cancer 2 weeks after her son, Thomas Silenus Casey, was born. However, cancer returned in December of 2022 on the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. So it was then Jessica was called to start her Instagram page called Blessed by Cancer, to share her journey, and the rest goes without saying. She touched our hearts forever. The characteristics to me that came shining through and was so evident in Jessica was her amazing trust in God. In the midst of all that she endured physically, all of the treatments that zapped her of all her energy and her strength, that made her ill and weak, she always wanted God's will for her life and acceptance of whatever outcome that would be. And she shared with us how important, how essential her faith was in her each and every day moments. And that's what I thought was so beautiful. We just don't see that, especially on social media. someone who is embracing their cross. She always wanted to suffer joyfully. And as I said, I invite you to go to her page. There is a beautiful video of her. I think it's pretty much at the beginning of this year, where she was going to be undergoing again yet another round of chemotherapy. And her hair had grown out, and she wanted this filmed where her hair was sectioned off because it was long enough to donate. So it shows her, and she is so radiant. She is approaching this knowing that that hair that she was able to grow out, she's going to be able to help someone else with. And that was her spirit, always helping others, even in the midst of her pain and suffering. So as she would be sharing her bouts, all her stays at the hospital, and she wanted to be able to reach out, and she really appreciated those that were there for her and were sending her prayers and love and concern. But she also wanted to know anyone else's petitions. And she wanted to be able to pray for those followers that might be undergoing some very serious situations. So she did. She connected with so many people out there. And she did it radiating a light. That's all I can say. Amidst the fact that she was in a hospital bed and hooked up to tubes, and her hair after all of the chemo was gone, and she was gone, lost a lot of weight and was weakened. But she had such a beauty that there's no amount of cream that you could use. There's no amount of surgery that you could have done. That beauty that she was radiated amidst the physical shell that cancer took from her. So that is just amazing to witness. This is why I wanted to make this video, because we have witnessed someone who was so kind and beautiful and encouraging and really living the faith. The ultimate test of being Christ-centered and Christ-focused and picking up those rosary beads amidst whatever latest hardship there was and how many steps back. Now remember, this is a mom of 4 young children. And that must have torn her apart to spend so much time away from her babies. She was a pharmacist and a homeschool mama. So her GoFundMe page now is dedicated to continuing homeschooling for her 4 young children. So I will put the link to her GoFundMe page below. And if you want to be able to do something now in memory of her and her passing, that would be a great way, because it was so important to her to be able to homeschool her children and to know that that can continue for them. Would be a wonderful way to thank her. And also I thought about, how can we take the experience of watching her in her faith walk amidst carrying such a heavy cross, well, I think it causes us to step back and put things into perspective and say, number one, I'm grateful for my circumstances today. If you have the gift of health, say an extra thank you and be in gratitude, because there's so many people out there who do not have that, who are not able to easily walk around and care for other people, and have to rely on the grace of others to tend to their needs. And we know there's so many people hurting emotionally too, psychologically in this world. So whatever way that we could reach out to them, and most of us have at least one person in our lives that is going through something where they could really use you as their Simon of Cyrene, so that you can make whatever they're going through, that experience, that burden, a little lighter. So I encourage you to seek that out and to do that. Also, don't forget, as with Jessica, we're going to be remembering her in our prayers. We're going to remember her and continue to remember her as we have been, and pray for her family, her husband, and her children, and all of her family at this most difficult time. Also, having masses said, if you have a loved one that has passed or a friend that has passed, offer a mass. This is something that Jessica would post on her page too. Offer them masses. Go to adoration and sit and really pray for them. And if you would like any more information, she has a very good friend who also has an Instagram page called Sisterhood of the Traveling Relics. She is updating any information about Jessica and her family. She was mentioning the other day that the service is going to be private. Some people had asked, is the service going to be live streamed, because she had so many followers on social media, and it is not. It is going to be a private service. So also, she is collecting stories. She's cataloging anything that might be used in the future in case a case is opened up, if there are miracles that are linked back to Jessica, because I know a lot of people are going to be praying to her, especially since the fact of, she had breast cancer, and so many people that were battling that disease or had someone battling that disease reached out to her. So her friend is going to be cataloging anything that anyone may say, you know what, there was a miraculous recovery. I was praying to her to intercede. I just can't wait to see if there's any developments that happened in the future regarding that. So go to those links below, my friends, and who has impacted you that way? Who have, and maybe, like I said, Jessica is someone I'd never met, but I really felt, and thousands of others did, that we knew her. We got to know her, and we were amazed and in awe of her light and her positivity in the midst of so much darkness. So I would love it if you comment below, had you followed Jessica's page, and how had she touched you? And who is that special person maybe in your life right now or in the past that has showed you such saintly qualities that it really inspired you to take up your cross, to do what work you're meant to do in your life, and to shine that light of Christ to all that you meet each and every day. So thanks so much for watching, and until my next video, shalom.